Do you want to live a life of freedom and adventure? Are you wanting more than the daily grind? Me too. Welcome to the Emma Lovell Show, a place where we talk about living a life you love now. I'm your host, Emma Lovell, and my number one value is freedom. I've spent the last 14 years running a business and traveling the world, and now I take my husband and toddler along for the adventure too. It's possible, and I know you can create a life doing what you truly love as well. This podcast will inspire, motivate, and encourage you to go after your dreams, to create a life you love and to live it now, not wait for retirement or someday in the future. I'll be sharing episodes weekly about how I harmonize business, travel, and self-care. I'll also bring on incredible guests to share their journeys, the wins, the challenges, and how they're creating a life they love. Let's jump in and get dreaming. This is a space for you to manifest a life you love. I would like to acknowledge and recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as the first peoples of this place, now known as Australia. I am grateful for the continuing care of the land, waterways and skies where I work, live, listen, learn and play. From here on Yugambeh country and from wherever you are listening, I pay my respects to the elders past and present. Hello and welcome to the podcast. It is actually It's actually Christmas Day in Australia. But I am in the USA. I am in a place called San Jose, which is about an hour out of San Francisco. I'm about to get in a cab in about an hour, go to the airport, and then I have 4 hours in the airport before I fly home overnight. So I leave to America, the USA, San Francisco, at 11:30 p.m. on the 24th, and I arrive back on the 26th. So there's actually no Christmas Day for me this year, which is kind of wild. And, you know, I think 2025 has been anything but the norm. And anything but that is expected. So I wasn't really going to do a reflection episode this year. To be honest, the podcast has been a bit more intermittent than I would have liked. We had a period where we had months backed up and planned up and then the next thing you know, the schedule's done. And then things changed quite a bit. So some of the things that we had planned changed, and there were times where I didn't really have the space or the capacity to do the podcast. This bit's quite easy, you know, the recording, but in saying that, sometimes it's the time and the energy and also being alone and being quiet. So having the time and the space to do that. So I'm actually in my friend's house, not my usual backdrop. They are out. It's Christmas Eve. They're out with family. And it's also my friend's birthday. So that's kind of wild that her birthday is Christmas Eve. And I was here. So it's special and lovely. But I just thought I'm going to take the opportunity because I went for a walk and I had actually a really crappy day of travel yesterday. But even at 1 a.m., pouring rain in the back of an Uber, I thought, I am thankful to pass me that I knew I needed a bit more time to get home. And I gave myself that, and that I am grateful that I have a friend that I can visit, a friend that I can stay with in a city across the world. I live in the Gold Coast, and near Brisbane is my nearest international airport. And I'm flying into San Francisco, and I can drive 50 minutes and I can be at my friend's house and have a place to stay with a lovely family. So I felt very grateful for that. And I felt very grateful that I wasn't then getting on a plane and traveling another 15 hours. I would have been a wreck. So just had some gratitude and thankfulness. And I think yesterday was kind of a great summary of 2025, and I did a little bit of a reflection exercise. My beautiful friend Emma Walkinshaw has this wonderful book that I've been using all year, 365 Days of Morning Magic, and it has a prompt for the journaling every day, and I've got a really good habit with that. Sometimes I miss it by a couple days, but I pick it up again. And yesterday she'd sent, a week ago I was catching up on my emails, she had sent 4 questions to reflect on 2025. And again, I just haven't really done a lot of reflection. I've done some conversations, but I haven't done my own reflection exercise yet. So The first question was, what are three words to describe 2025? And all that could come up for me was like surprising, unexpected, not what I planned. Like, so clearly that's the state of mind that I was in. And yesterday was also not what I planned. So I left Chicago, where I was visiting with my relative who has been unwell. He has, I mean, he's 102, and we've been working on his book, A Life of Magic. So I will do more of a story on that. But a long story short, he has colon cancer, and I will do another episode called Living Your Values, where I'll talk more about that. But that happened. Um, and so this trip wasn't planned. We were working on the book in August, and then I was coming in April, once the book is out in February, to launch it. Now, dealing with a 102-year-old, that's still, timings are always, who knows? And for any of us, who knows? But there's a bit more of a time limit when you're that age. So anyway, the book will come out in February. We're pretty much almost done. So I didn't plan to come back to work on the book before we launched it. That was it. But I needed to see him. I wanted to see him and be with him. So I got great tickets on, well, I got cheap tickets. I paid 240 Australian dollars in taxes. I paid the rest on points or miles, airline miles. So I'm a Virgin member, and that was fantastic. But the tickets I got for San Francisco to Chicago, amazing, 19,000 points, which is nothing, and $15 for one of them and $22 for another. Like, taxes are never that low. Like, I just couldn't believe my eyes. So I got it. However, both of the internal flights had a stop. So I had to go on the way to Chicago via Kansas, and on the way back, I had to go via Cleveland. Now, on the way to Chicago was great because my flight was delayed, not great, but I managed to ask to get on a direct. So I ended up getting in earlier than I planned. I got one plane instead of two, saved myself a lot of traveling time, just spent more time in the airport. And so it worked out well. I tried to ask them at the airport for a direct, and they tried, but I was flying on the 23rd of December, which is right near Christmas, and the planes were pretty full. So I stuck to the plan. I was like, okay, even the day before I went, should I just change my flight to a direct? I could easily cancel it, get the money back, get the rewards, get the points back, and rebook on a direct flight. But I wouldn't have got in till 1 a.m. I thought, no, that's a bit crazy. Don't do that. So I'd left my cousin's house at 10:30 a.m., spent time in Chicago airport. Flight was on time for Cleveland. Amazing. So Cleveland is going from Chicago, is going east, away from the West Coast, away from where I needed to go. I had a couple of hours in Cleveland airport, or not even actually, I was supposed to have 20 minutes, and then fly to San Francisco and arrive about 8 p.m. No, my flight was delayed. My flight was delayed by 3 hours, and then 4 hours, and then I had a 4.5 hour flight. So I ended up getting into San Francisco at 10 to 12 at night. I then had to get to the car rental place, which I had organized. And I was, this is the lesson for me in 2025, actually. This is one of the messages I'll take away. I've been seeing an owl. I've been seeing the last few months, I've seen owls everywhere. Like, my son was seeing one at his childcare center in the tree. I saw one outside my friend's house one night. I then started to see them in India. And then my friend bought me a little thing because I said, I think this owl is becoming a totem for me. Turns out my friend who was with us on the India trip, his wife, who passed away a few years ago, a dear friend of mine, she loved owls and had owl stuff everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh. The owl means wisdom, and it means hidden truth, and it means seeing at night, seeing in the dark, and looking deeper. So anyway, the owl is all about trusting your intuition and trusting that voice inside and knowing what you know is right. Well, I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't trust that I knew the flights would stuff up. And I had that moment when I was like, I'll just get an Uber. Why don't I just get an Uber? I've got my bag. The cars are right there. Just go, let go of the car rental. It was only booked. It wasn't paid for. And just pay extra and get the Uber. No, I'll stick to the plan. Keep sticking to the plan. And so I had a mission. I had to get a train to the other terminal. Then I get to the little train station. There's two trains. One of the lines is down. So then the train is doing this longer, crazy loop or backtracking on itself. Didn't even know if it would get to the rental place. Anyway, get to the car rental place. I'm like, are they even open after midnight? Trust my intuition. No, the car rental place wasn't open after midnight. So they said, but the other company, they're going to help you with bookings if the desk is closed. Okay, I go over there. Okay, can we just see your license and then the manager will help you? Okay, here's my license. I'm like on the verge of tears now. I'm just so tired. Where I came from, it was like 2 a.m. I was wanted to talk to my husband and just be like, should I just stay in a hotel? I'm looking at hotels. I was on my phone looking at hotels. I was sad if I wasn't going to see my friend, but I was like, I don't know if I can drive. I feel so tired and it's pouring rain. So, and my husband was calling me, and then I don't know. I had to wait, and I was like, okay, there's a line there. I didn't know what to do, and I went and sat down, and the woman came over to me and she said, can I just see your license again? And I said, sure. And I gave her my license, and she said, is this expired? And I took my license back, and it was expired. It had expired 2 weeks ago. And I didn't even know, and I vaguely remember getting a notice to renew. Probably should have put that in the calendar, or maybe if it was even in the calendar and I didn't even look, it's just one of those things. So I wasn't going to rent a car. They can't rent a car to me with an expired. I was like, guess I'm not getting a car. And I just sat down. I had a couple tears. My husband called at the same time, and I just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, Matt. I don't know if I should go to my friend's house. Like I can get the Uber, I go to hotel. Like right now, I don't know what to do. And it's pushing, 12:40 a.m. And he told me to go to a hotel. I was like, but then I got to get to the hotel from this place, and then I got to check in, and then they're going to kick me out at 10 a.m. anyway. At least at my friend's house, she's not going to kick me out. And I just went, I get that. Like, I don't know. You got to keep going. That's the thing about travel. I think this is the resilience travel gives you. It's like you don't have any option. I could just sit there. I could sit there in the car rental place until whenever, but that didn't feel super safe or good or comfortable. And I had this beautiful home, my friend's beautiful home that I knew that I could get to. And I was like, just suck it up and just get on with it. And so I was like, I'm getting the cab, I'm getting the Uber, I'll get there. I will just whatever, and then I'll rest and hopefully I'll sleep. And hopefully I can sleep a little bit in the morning because, you're staying in someone's house and there might be noise and all that stuff. But I was like, just trust, get there. So I got the Uber, got to the house at 1:20 a.m., which was 3:20 a.m. Chicago time. Anyway, I ended up I'm telling you the whole story. I probably need to get it off my chest, but just this is the life of travel, right? And I was making jokes. I was making jokes. If you will follow my stories, I was sharing all the stories. I've got all the video clips. I was sharing all along the way. And then it's like, this is kind of not getting funny anymore. Like I'm trying to have a good attitude. But in that Uber, I had a real like thankfulness and gratitude. Thank goodness I'm not flying to Australia tonight. Thank goodness I kind of knew that holiday travel and weather and all that stuff that I should fly on the 23rd of December for my flight on the 24th. Give yourself a day buffer. Thank goodness that I have somewhere to go. Thank goodness I had money in my account. Yeah, like a lot of privilege and gratitude. Not outside in the rain. Anyway, I got here. My beautiful friend got up, came give me a hug, said, settle in. The cat came and greeted me, cuddled up with me. And I just went, okay, now I'll sleep. And then I slept till 11 a.m. I woke up at 6, kind of got some water and stuff, and I thought, okay, whatever, put my headphones on and I'll see, but the family will probably get up soon, and that's okay. That's okay. I'll just rest later in the day. I slept till 11 and they let me. And later on, they told me, they were like, we're just so happy that you feel comfortable to do that. And you were just out to the world and we just let you. And, it meant I was meant to have the whole morning with them because they had to go out at lunchtime. But I had an hour and a half with them. We had some food, we caught up, and they let me stay in their house all day. And I'm leaving in like 40 minutes to get to the airport. But like, isn't that beautiful? And I just went for a walk. I felt really tired today, but this afternoon I was like, no, they said go for a walk. And There's a nice park we went to last time, and I said, let's go out in the park and get out in the sunshine. And I got this beautiful California. It's like 15 degrees Celsius, 58 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a beautiful temperature for winter. And the sun was shining on my face, and I just thought, you know, there's been a lot of ups and downs this year. And I don't know about you, but I found out that it's been a snake year in terms of Chinese astrology, the snake. And it's a year of shedding, and it's a year of letting go, and it's a year of if things aren't working, there's things that are just meant to end and meant to go. And I've had a lot of that this year. And I feel like I had a lot of that since my book. Like, you want to shake things up in your world, like, write a book. You will let stuff go. Like, people will drop away. Things will drop away because you're going to a new level and you can't take everything with you. But the other thing is, if you're into numerology, this is a 9 year. So it's 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And then so next year will be a 10. 2 plus 2 plus 6, 20. You don't do the 0. 2 plus 2 plus 6, 20, 26. But you don't do 10, so it starts again at 1. So it's 9 year cycles. So it's a year of the snake, and it's the end of a cycle. And I am feeling it. And I put it in my newsletter recently, and I'm talking a little bit about it on socials. So I don't know if you're into numerology, astrology, horoscopes, all this sort of stuff. I am. And like I said, an animal totem. I'll take anything. I love it. You believe what you want to believe, but I think it's undeniable that something is going on. Because I'm just hearing so many people the last few months, just shit is hitting the fan. And it's just that thing of going, if it's not working, just stop. And sometimes just you've got to let it go. And I come back to the frozen, it means let it go, let it go. Because that will hold you back if you keep holding on to these things. And I don't want to take this crap into the next cycle. I don't want to take all this yuck into the next year. And that's when it comes back to that thankful and gratitude. Like, thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for showing me what's not working. Thank you for showing me that I should listen to my intuition and that I should trust myself. Thank you for showing me what is good. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm grateful for the hard stuff. I'm grateful for what I went through. And I'm going to take that good stuff into the next year. And it's not Thanksgiving. We don't do Thanksgiving in Australia anyway, but I feel very thankful and grateful today. And as I was on my walk, I just let the sun hit my face. And, it's nice to just to have I had a moment where I felt kind of alone. I was like joking about being in Chicago airport. Well, I wasn't joking. That's where Home Alone was filmed, where it's set, the first one, where they leave him behind. And then I'm going through San Francisco airport, and I really felt like that mom in the movie, like I just got to get to my kid. Like, I'll do anything I can. I just got to get to my kid. I just got to get. Oh, it's making me want to cry. Like, I just got to get home for Christmas. We've told my son the 26th is Christmas. So if anybody asks, this year there's Boxing Day is Christmas Day. If 26th of December, that's definitely Christmas Day. And he's taken that on so much that my mother-in-law offered him to open a present early, so he could open a present today. And he said, oh no, I'm only going to open presents when mummy's home. So which made me like, oh. And so, yeah, I just got to get home to my family. And I was here visiting my family because my cousin is my family, my relative. And that felt important to me. But I make a choice, which is to also leave my son at home, which was challenging. But this trip felt important to do by myself. And my husband just said, you got to go by yourself. It's too much to have Finn here. And then he wants me, he wants my attention, which is fair. So it was better this time. So I'm now at that point though where I'm like, I just got to get home to him. And I'm going to do another episode about like what's most important to you. And it feels very hypocritical to be like, my son is so important to me and then I'm away from him. But that's sometimes it's the reality, and it's a choice that I made, and I honor that. But now I just want to get home to him, and then I'm here today and I'm in this house and I'm like, it's Christmas and I'm in a house by myself. And it felt very I'm freezing. The the internet is freezing. I felt very Home Alone kind of thing. I was like, it's Home Alone. I was like, I'm getting all these references, but I'm not alone, I'm on my own. And that's the difference. And I heard that in Sex and the City final episode last night, and just like that final episode. Um, Not alone, I'm on my own. And but this morning I was with beautiful people, and this trip I've been with beautiful people. And so, I guess my message here is you've probably been through a lot this year too. And there's probably a lot of stuff that's ending or that you're ready to end or ready to let go of. And it's like that spark joy from Marie Kondo, or it's just anything that ends. Just it's just like thanking it. Thank you. Because, you know, you either win or you learn. You know, it's a lesson. There's a lesson, there's a something, there's a reminder, there's something. My cousin lost his wallet while I was with him. And the reminder is to be more careful with your stuff. And it's like to check each time you leave, like, do you have your phone? Do you have your wallet? And for someone who's 102, obviously, like, and there's all this fussing going around, it's like, well, what's most important? Okay, well, the most important items are those things. So do you have those things? And we'll double check them. And, you know, having a place for things to live, that's important. So these things happen as reminders and lessons, and you either take it or you get it served up again. And I feel like that's what 2025 has done. It's served us up. Every single lesson from the last 9 years that if you didn't get it the first time, it's going to serve it again and serve it again and serve it again until you go, okay, thank you, message received, and then move on. But yeah, just sitting in this gratitude at this time. So for 2025, how can you, I will say, like, what are three things that you learned? What are three things that like didn't work out, that didn't feel great, that felt like they ended or, you know, didn't go right or whatever? And what are three things that you're grateful for? And it might be all the same. They might be the three same things. Like there's gonna be something that stands out. That like with self-care, when I teach self-care and when we do these practices, I don't think you need to overcook it. And me thinking about doing an end of year practice, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. It doesn't have to be. I think we can keep it really simple. And you know, one of the things that I'm just thinking right now, I need to I do money tracking, and I just getting back into the habit of that because I just let go of a system I was using and use a new one. So, what are the reminders? What are the things that you need to focus on? And I love doing this podcast when I get to do it. I like doing solo episodes. I hope you like listening. I would love to hear from you. I'd love you to email me. What are three things that you learned? What are three things that didn't work out, didn't go right? Let's get it out and say it and clear it and thank it and move it on. And then what are you grateful for? What are three things that you're grateful for? And you know, I don't think necessarily it's the time to set things in place. Like if you do believe in those New Year, Chinese New Year and astrology, then it actually starts in mid-February. So we have time to close out this year. Like I think you can just kind of relax and soak in like in gratitude, soak in that thankfulness, have some celebration, and then, you know, you kind of use the New Year period. It doesn't have to be one day to set yourself some goals. And I always talk about you can set goals at any time. At any time you can go, you want to reset what's working, what's not. You can do those exercises again. So kind of make it simple for yourself. Don't overcook it because it just becomes a big chore. But, you know, my thing is always set a timer for 5 minutes. Just write a page. That's what I did last night. I had these 4 questions from my friend. I thought, well, that's a great thing to do. I wrote them in my journal. I wrote a couple extra pages and just kind of talked out whatever I was feeling. I've done a 12 on the 12th of December. There was like a 12 money, kind of set 12 money strategic goals for yourself. So I did that. Like I do multiple different things, and you can do multiple, you don't have to do it one way. There's no one right way to reflect on the year, and there's no one right way to set goals. Do what works for you. But if you can take 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of close this out. And I do think that although I say I hate New Year's and I have a podcast episode on it, I do think that I hate it because of the deadline. I hate it because of the fixed one day. So I'm really enjoying having this season and these couple months to kind of know that that's That's the kind of closing out and then the renewal. And so you can just have a little bit more time. And even if things were unexpected, even if things didn't go the way that you thought, that's okay. That's okay. But, speak it out loud, share it out loud, do it with a friend, accountability, share it to me, email me, emma@emmalovell.au. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know if you listen. You were talking, I'm home alone, I'm talking into the abyss. This is always almost solo episodes are longer than I thought, but I hope you've enjoyed hearing the real side of travel, that it's not all just me jet setting and in the lounge. I got the lounge, it was fun. I got the food and I like the perks and I got the cheap flights. But the irony is that my flights, I paid $240 for taxes, and I will end up spending probably $300 or $350 on Uber. So this one getting to and from here cost me more than the entire flights to Australia and to internal cities in this country. So the world works in mysterious ways. So I am wishing you, this will come out late, but I wish you a very Merry Christmas. I wish you a very happy holidays. I wish you a wonderful period of reflection and thankfulness and gratitude. And I would love to hear from you if you have listened to this episode. Thank you for being here always. And I will continue to show up in whatever rhythm I can, ideally weekly, but I will be here. And I thank you for being here too. Thank you for listening, lovely one. I hope this has inspired you to dream big and start creating a life you love today. If you love what you're hearing, don't forget to follow and rate on Spotify, and rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. It helps other awesome people to find this podcast and get motivated and inspired as well. Want to stay connected? Come and join the Live a Life You Love group on Facebook, or connect with me on Instagram, emmalovell.au. The same as my website. But all the details are in the show notes, lovely. I'll see you next episode for more inspiration, motivation, and freedom seeking. Now go out there and live a life you love.